right, FightHype.com here with probably the best prospect at the featherweight division. Brooklyn's own Bruce Shakur Carrington, undefeated in front the DLX boxing gym.
Big shout out to True, man. She doing the big route out here in Vegas, man.
Absolutely holding it down for the New Yorkers too.
For sure, yep.
But Bruce, man, got a fight coming up. Let the people know what's going on, man.
Yes, December 9th. We are on the undercard with Robeisy Ramirez. This will be my 10th fight of the year. This will be my first 10-rounder as well too. I'm super excited, man. It's like, Top Rank, they're doing everything that that I've been asking of them, that I've been wanting as a pro fighter, and I'm super happy with the outcome has been becoming, especially with the promotion and how they've been helping building my popularity and stuff like that. And then me, I'm handling my end. Everything's just going according to plan.
Yeah, we know Top Rank, good relationship with the WBO,
yeah.
And the champion in your division is Robeisy, and you're sharing the card with him. Do you feel like that's kind of what they're building you towards at some point?
Possibly. I feel like that's a possibility. Me and him being on the same card. Me and him have worked before, so we're familiar with each other and stuff like that. So that's definitely a fight I could definitely see down the line for sure. I'm very interested in fighting, and you know me, I don't talk no smoke. Brownsville never ran, never will. But I'm just building my accolades and everything right now, my achievements and whatnot. And then when the time is right, then we'll definitely be having more of those conversations about the champions.
Yeah, and not just him, but I think you told me you worked with Venato too,
yeah.
the IBF champion.
Yeah, I've definitely worked with Venato right in this gym and DLX. We got a lot of rounds spent with each other, so we are also familiar with each other as well too. So yeah, again, when the time is right, we'll have more conversations about the champions.
I know what happens in the gym stays in the gym. What could you share with the fans about how the sparring was like with those two champs?
Oh, competitive. They're champions for a reason. I would definitely say like those guys, like they have that power and that will and that experience to where it's not always easy to hit them, and you always got to think outside the box and do something probably a little awkward or off tempo to hit them. Or you got to always do something different. And those guys are special. They're really special. Fernando Lopez, he has a very weird style, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to, work with his awkwardness, and then his reflexes are great too.
He's athletic.
He's very athletic, very explosive. He's sneaky. Robeisy Ramirez, he's very experienced. Like he works on your rhythm. And then he makes you fight his rhythm, but he likes to attack you on dead spots, and that left hand is super strong. Like he can punch. That man can punch. So with the work, that was just the stuff that I had to overcome in sparring, and to make it very very interesting for myself and for both of us. And yeah, it was great work. It was great work for both of them. I really liked it.
Was there some catching up you had to do, growing pains? Like at first they were getting the better of the young guy, and then you closed the gap and started doing your thing?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I wouldn't say so. It was always just competitive. I would just say, and then let's say if it just wasn't a skill thing, it was a will thing. We'll push each other's will and stuff like that. Because that's what, most of the time in the pros, that's what it comes down to. If the skills is not there, then we're going to test your will. And they would try to do that. And, I would just answer back because, my will is strong as well, too. It was just back and forth, and then that lets me know where I am. Even though I'm only 9 fights in, coming up with my 10th fight, that lets me know where I am and where I stand in just this little bit of experience that I've got as a professional.
Who's better?
You know what? What's funny? I would definitely give you an honest answer. I 100% give you an honest answer, but I can't say who's better because
they would have to fight.
They would have to fight,
yeah.
Honestly, because Venato is so awkward, but he's so good with his awkwardness, bro. And Robeisy is good at what he does, and and he's strong. I would say the stronger of the two is Robeisy. But bro, Venato, he's good at what he does, and he's very you can't train for a guy like him.
Yeah,
you can't.
He's got more volume than Robeisy.
Yeah, he has
right?
more volume.
Yeah.
What I would say, and me and Venato sparring, it took me a few rounds to really get his rhythm, to really figure him out.
Like
yeah, nobody fights like that, bro. Nobody fights like him. So yeah, I can't answer who's better.
When he left his feet on one of his punches, that's why they call him the deer.
Yeah,
what's
bro.
The deer?
What
kind of
Bro, he's just different. He's different, bro. And that's a fight I would like to see.
Yeah, well, we know you're great in the pocket. He's a Mexican warrior, so that would probably be a war, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It would be, definitely. Come on, nigga, that's action packed right there. But at the same time, I'm in the inside, but I'm real technical at the same time too. I'm not just throwing just to throw. It's not tit for tat. It's me being very calculated while I'm in there, just picking my shots, being selective, keeping distance. There's different things that I'm doing in there than just throwing punches.
Well, I'll be honest, when I try to assess all the fighters is, try to watch the tape.
Yeah.
And I talk to you about it in the gym. I'm like, one thing with Shushu, though, is kind of want you to, we'll go over like we talked about in there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever got to worry about the Meldrick Taylor thing? You're very fast and you like to fight.
Yeah,
he was from Philly, you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And do you ever have to watch yourself, not too much for your own good, use the speed and outsmart the guy too? What do you think of that?
I feel like, me, like I've had my, learning experiences with my speed and stuff like that, because me, I like to test my speed. I know I'm pretty fast, but I would say that I've learned that I don't always have to try to test my speed, because I know I'm fast already, so I don't have to try to be fast. So now it's just all about just throwing my punches correctly, being technical. So when I'm in the inside and I am throwing punches in bunches, I'm being aware of things that's going to be coming after me as well too. So that's why my defense is sharp, where I'm countering well, because when I'm throwing punches, I'm thinking about what's after my punches now. I'm not thinking about what I'm doing at the moment. I'm thinking about, okay, if I throw this, I'll be prepared for this and be prepared for that. So I'm more calculated than, I would say, than a Meldrick Taylor. All due respect to Meldrick Taylor, but I just feel like where me and him differ is just the fact that I'm more defensively aware in the inside than he probably was.
Gotcha. And you're such a nice guy. When all the people interview you, everyone loves your personality. But I know you still like we say, but fuck out of here. I know you still got that.
Come on, you gotta have that New York attitude. Like that never leaves. That's okay. There's Bruce Carrington, which you talking to right now. Then there's Shushu. Shushu is the guy in the ring. Like that's that attitude you see in the ring. Like I don't know if you saw me in my last fight. Like okay, so there's a point. I think it was the second to last round. His coach was yelling at him, telling him, yo, he's in the corner, get him, put him in the corner. I stay in the corner. I'm like, all right, now you got me where you want. Fight me. So I'm like, and then he wasn't trying to fight me, so I'm like, come on, let's go. Come on. I just that New York attitude. So it's just like, you got to have that in you. You got to have that beast, that dog in you. And of course it's in me. Come on. It's like, that's just what it is. I can't run away from it even if I wanted to be honest. And that's just who I am. It's a part of me.
Are you grateful to the sport that you got an outlet to let it out at, and you could be Bruce all the other times? Like it's I'm happy that I have boxing, because I can compartmentalize. You know what I'm saying? I can be able to be Shushu and let it out, and then finally be Bruce whenever I'm outside, while I'm talking to you, whenever I'm talking to everybody else on the outside, because that Shushu is there. And when let's say if I'm not fighting for a while, kind of get a little antsy, like, bro, I want to be able to punch something. I don't want to be able to punch somebody. No, I'm the hands start itching.
Let me chill out, man. Let me chill out. This is my name. So definitely I'm happy that I have this outlet. This, honestly, if it wasn't for boxing, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't say I would be a god, I'll be in the streets.
Right. A
lot of people would be like, oh, boxing, if I wasn't boxing, I wouldn't say that, because I had a great, a good family system. My parents made sure they kept me in school.
Right.
And make sure, they disciplined me well and everything like that. So I wouldn't say that. But
you might be a little tight at the office, You might be.
Who knows, maybe. But I would say, if the hood would have probably influenced me more. My dad put me in boxing early, 7 years old, so I wasn't really outside like that, But it was certain things that, being in Brownsville, I experienced that was out of my control, and it made me build tough skin regardless. You know what I'm saying? So just coming from that environment, if I wasn't boxing, probably would have gotten influenced more. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, remember, man, when you're fighting for, of course, you got Brownsville on your back,
100%.
Alphabet City, best type of.
Yeah.
But remember you got Bensonhurst on your back.
Listen, I rep the whole Brooklyn, man.
That's
Brooklyn,
what I mean. All of Brooklyn.
Spread love is the Brooklyn way, man. That's just what it is. I rep the whole Brooklyn. I'm born and bred from Brownsville. Never ran, never will. We got all these champions that come out of Brownsville, but I'm a Brooklyn kid, man. You know what I mean? I come from the same borough as all these greats, Biggie and Jay-Z and all these other different guys, man. Like
Pac was born there too.
Pac was
people
born.
Forget.
You know what I'm saying? People, come on now. Come on now.
Michael Jordan was born
Michael
there.
Jordan, come on now. The best. It just is what it is, man. And I just want to be able to be, when you talk about Pac and Biggie and Jay-Z and all these different guys, these greats, Tyson, at the end of the day, Bruce Carrington is going to be named amongst one of them guys when it's all said and done.
Beautifully said, man. Before I let you get out of here, just want to ask about, some of the big names up at lightweight and at 140.
Yeah.
There's always, everyone wants to see Tank, Shakur, and Devin mix it up. TO2.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the best fighter out of the four? Who's gonna be the greatest? I think they're all gonna have excellent, already have, but who's gonna be the top dog?
I feel like, out of those guys, and I want to get some honorable mentions too. Like, we got Kenny Sims up at 140.
Yep.
He's not. I don't feel like he's talked about. We got Richardson Hitchens at 140.
Yep.
I don't feel like he's talked about enough. These guys are sharp. You guys, let's say if they're thrown in the mix, it'll be very interesting to see how them top four guys deal with them as well too. It'll make the division more interesting. But to answer your question, I would say I like Shakur, man.
Why does everyone tell me that? I feel like all the real, the fighters, the champions, the people in the sport, that's who they always give me is Shakur.
Yeah. Even though Shakur's at 135, he's not 140 yet, but eventually we feel like he might, just to make the fight happen. I think that it's just maybe his defensive awareness, and he has enough pop to where you respect him. Like, we've seen him drop guys, even in his last fight with Yoshino. A lot of guys may not know of Yoshino or whatever, but he was a tough guy. I've watched some of his fights as well before Shakur. Did some study on him, and he's pretty tough, pretty strong as well. And Shakur just made him look like easy work. I feel like Shakur has everything that it takes to beat guys like Devin Haney. I feel like the only fight that would be really tough to be decisive would be with Tank. Even the Devin Haney fight would be interesting because Devin's style is pretty interesting. I feel like, he's pretty versatile. It's just that he needs to work on his inside game. Devin does? Yes, Devin. Devin needs to work on his inside game. I feel like when he showed in his Lomachenko fight, he didn't really like fighting in the inside. That's the only thing that I would say that would give Devin a problem, to be honest, with these other guys. You gotta be well-rounded. Tank, he's well-rounded. Shakur, I feel like he's well-rounded. If he had more pop, he'd be even scarier. Yeah. But he's probably the most patient fighter I've seen. I've ever seen. He's very defensive aware. He's mastered his distance at a young age. I remember he was 13. I'm seeing him champions, world champions that we've seen in the past don't master their distance the way he had at a young age. And then from then he just got better and better from there. I really think that Shakur has the best shot at it, but this is boxing at the end of the day. It takes one shot. It takes a certain motivation for a guy to bring something else out of their arsenal. You never know, bro. You never know what'll happen.
It sounds like you mean in regards to him and Tank. 100%. Tank's the guy that
100%, yes.
Could be the threat. With the power.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you got to do to beat a guy like Tank from what you see?
For me, I feel like you probably have to box him because I feel like, Tank beats everybody the same way. He did it with Hector Garcia, he did it with Ryan Garcia, he did it with Mario Barrios, he did it with, everybody.
Rolly, Santa Cruz.
He did it with Rolly, Santa Cruz, he did it with everybody. He lets people hit him. They have a game plan of boxing him, right? And he tried to get his shots off. Sometimes he's just a little bit off. Mario Barrios, I felt executed it the best. He kept his distance for a long period of time and, fought him really good. But then when Mario Barrios is kind of getting his shots off, he starts to gamble. He's getting closer. Don't do that. Ryan Garcia did the same thing, and he did it in one round, and then second round he got caught. He was just gambling with his distance. Don't do that. I feel like Shakur's not going to do that. Shakur's going to stay disciplined throughout the whole time because the distance game is his fight.
Right.
I just feel like it's going to be that's probably just the way to beat Tank. You stay disciplined, make him reach, make him run into something, and if you can't get him up out of there, which a lot of guys can't, just box him throughout the whole 12 rounds and be disciplined. That's how I feel like the only way you could beat Tank. But then even though he has certain ways to make you fight his fight too, it's not like you can just choose to do that. He's going to make you fight too. So, bro, the dude is he's special.
Yeah.
The Tank is special, bro. And I don't know,
man. Not just
some
puncher.
He's not. He's not just a puncher, bro. He's smart. He's super smart. Super fast, real quick, good feet. He's very quick on his feet, very explosive, good leaps. And
we got to see him fight, Haney, T.O. Shakur. I feel like we've seen everything. He passed all those other tests. All that's left now is
I feel like next year probably be the time that everybody's going to fight because we got a lot of fights that we wanted this year. We got a lot of fights that we wanted this year. I think next year will be one of those big years as well, too. And I think for the year 140, 100%.
Will you think you'll ever be big enough to fight those guys, or it's just that's not your
right
your
now,
body makeup?
Right now, I don't feel like it. Nah, I don't feel
you're
like
a featherweight.
Never in the next, not even the next few years. I don't feel like I'll be able to be 140, but I feel like I'll cap out my career at 140 for sure. But right now, I'll be at 126 for a long time, and I plan on being undisputed at 126 before I even move up, and then I'll tax guys at 130, move on 135, and then I'll probably do a little 140, grab a belt there, and maybe retire like that. Who knows? Yeah, we'll see how my career goes.
Well, you know what the money fight is, right, Bruce? You know what the money fight is. Go ahead. Beat me to it. What's the money fight?
In a way, it's definitely the money fight. I'm hearing, if he wins this fight, this upcoming fight he's coming up to 126. I know he's not gonna look at me right now.
Right.
Because he got the other champions right now. It's everybody has a belt. There's one guy with each belt, and it's like he could go after any one of those guys right now. So I know he's not gonna look at me. So probably in a year, then we'll definitely have more Inoue talk. I would love to fight Inoue. I'm actually a big fan of Inoue.
Of course.
I really respect his craft. I respect his work. I like how he sets his shots. He's very powerful. He's more than just a power guy too.
Yeah.
Like he sets the shot. He's really smart. I like him a lot. But I'm such a big fan that I study him as well too. So, I feel like he'll be a guy that, I like to test myself with, and I would definitely like to, expose certain things that I see in his game.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah,
appreciate you, man. We'll see you December 9th, right?
Yes, appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man.